How's it going, guys? It is David Claydon from KZR Racing once again, and I'm going to actually talk for the first time about the Grand Prix, the Brazilian Grand Prix that just happened this Sunday. I've watched the results and everything, and saw the live report on the BBC website while I was seeing my family, keeping up to date with it. And I'm going to talk about the main results first. Brilliant 1-2 for Mercedes, Russell taking his first win ahead of Hamilton. Sainz rounding out the podium ahead of Leclerc, Alonso, Verstappen, Perez, Ocon, Bottas and Stroll as the top 10. Now, the main talking points. At the end of the first lap, we had Ricciardo tipping around Magnussen, who spun round and ended up hitting Ricciardo again, so that eliminated both drivers. Ricciardo definitely was the one responsible for that one. No arguments about that, but he did go up and apologise to Magnussen for what happened, so he accepted responsibility for that one. This brought out the safety car, and then at the end of lap 6, the safety car comes in and Verstappen goes on the attack of Lewis Hamilton around the outside of turn 1, and then proceeds to do the most predictable thing and cannon himself straight into the side of Lewis. Now, I'm not going to get into a debate with the Max Verstappen fan planktons that are out there. Just go and watch the replay. You will see Lewis straightened up the steering wheel going through turn 2, knowing Verstappen was there. With Verstappen, all he had to do was back off and negotiate turn 2 on the inside. He wouldn't have gained the place, but he would have been still close enough to Lewis to have another go later on. But Verstappen, being Verstappen, having no respect for any drivers on the grid, just decided to punt Lewis straight out of the way. But it backfired, causing him to lose his front wing and get a 5-second penalty as a result, dropping him back to 16th. And giving Lewis some minor floor damage, but otherwise he was okay. And then, later on, going up towards turn 6, at the top of the hill towards sector 2, Lando Norris ended up tipping round Charles Leclerc, who went into the tyre barrier and knocked off his front wing. Very lucky not to retire in that respect, because that was a hefty shunt into that tyre wall. And he had to come in for a pit stop and a front wing change as well, along with Verstappen, forcing those guys to climb back through the field. Aside from that, we had multiple overtakes from Lewis, Leclerc and Verstappen all throughout the race, getting back up the field. Norris was the third retiree of the race very late on with an engine failure, which brought the safety car out again. But Lewis, unfortunately, due to that damage, wasn't really able to press the George at the end of that race like we would have hoped, but still brought the car home for second place, which in retrospect is still a great result for Mercedes with the 1-2, but with Russell getting the advantage in the sprint qualifying with questionable mistake during qualifying in Q3, and Verstappen doing what he did on lap 7, Lewis was by far and away unlucky yet again to not get a win that he was well in the running for. But now we're going to go to the main issue. Verstappen and Red Bull, and the potential bomb that is going to explode next year. Now, Verstappen is already champion. He doesn't need any more points than he's already got. So you would think, if he's the team player that he keeps saying that he is, he would help out Sergio Perez secure second in the Drivers' Championship, knowing how close Leclerc is. Does he do it? Does he hell? He proceeds to overtake Leclerc towards the end of the race, with the hopes of going after Fernando Alonso to challenge him for 5th, but there was an understanding on the pit wall that Verstappen would give that place back to Perez, so that he could fight Leclerc and have a bit more of a points advantage going into the final race at Abu Dhabi. Verstappen does not give the place back, because Verstappen does not care about his team, he does not care about his teammate, he doesn't care about the other drivers on that grid, and he doesn't care about the fans. All he cares about is himself. As a result, Sergio Perez is now level on points with Charles Leclerc going into the final round, with Leclerc ahead in the standings due to the countback having more wins than Sergio Perez does. Now, I'm going to leave a link to Sergio Perez's interview of Sergio Perez after the race in the description, and you can leave you can make your thoughts and opinions up to what you think. But Sergio Perez quite clearly the interviewer stated that Max Verstappen said, "Checo knows why I did it." He didn't give any reason for why he did what he did. To which Perez responds, "After all I've done for him, this is how he treats me." So now, going into 2023, Max Verstappen, who has no respect for anyone around him, is going to be looking for help from a teammate who's not going to give it to him. And as a result, this is going to cause another internal Red Bull problem. Now, all you have to do is just look back at Webber versus Vettel and Ricciardo versus Verstappen to know how well that history goes. For now though, guys, that's my thoughts and opinions on the matter. I will go into more, this is just a quick race review and a catch up with how the race went. I will do a more detailed version of this potential problem that's going to unfold another time at the end of the season, to do a big season review. But for now, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick recap. If you did enjoy it, do feel free to leave a like and a comment, and share the video. It really helps. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of these other videos. I'm David Clayton of KZR Racing, and I hope you all enjoy your day. Goodbye.